Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. For today I got an order from Unearthly Cosmetics. Today I'm going to be doing a first impressions using the beautiful eyeshadow palette Spring Magic, and also I picked up the blush palette. So if you want to see my looks, swatches, close-ups, hear my thoughts, then please stick around for today's video and make sure you are subscribed before leaving today, and let's get into it. First things first, you know the drill. I'm going to show you some close-ups of this gorgeous palette and the cheek palette and read you all some information on this launch. So the 18 pan eyeshadow palette, that retails for $78 before you use someone's affiliate code. And of course the blush palette as well, that will retail for $32. This collection also came with two highlighters. I passed on those, and it also came with the lip gloss. I passed on that. But the highlighters are $15 and the lip gloss is $14. Or you could buy the entire bundle for $138, and I will link everything down below to let you know if it's available. So as the time that I'm filming this, it seems like everything is still in stock, so that is awesome. And let me just start off with the eyeshadow palette, how I think that the eyeshadows look so sparkly and beautiful. I cannot wait to dive in. And the blush palette, those tones, I could not resist it. I had to get it. So now that you've seen the close-ups and I've read you the information, let's go ahead and zoom in and let's get started putting all this goodness on my face. First, I want to go in with the blush palette. I had to get this. I almost just got this, and I was like, who are you kidding? You know you're going to get the palette too. I almost got the entire bundle, but I was like, I don't use colorful highlighter, so I need to reel it in. But I think that this is so pretty, and I do not have a purple blush in my collection, so I'm very excited to try this palette. I have to go in with the orange first. As soon as I saw this palette, this shade was like the one that jumped out to me, and I'm just going to dive in. It's so pretty. I love this orange. Okay, so it looks like it's very buildable, so you don't get like too much pigment right at the beginning. I know with a lot of indie brands, when it comes to blush palettes or blushes in general, they can be like max pigmentation, almost like comparable to like an eyeshadow formulation. So as far as like indie brands, I'm kind of very cautious whenever I go into blushes. But this is beautiful, and it's not too shimmery that it's going to emphasize everything on your face, kind of like the Rare Beauty ones. Those are intense, very buildable. Wow, I think a lot of people are going to like this. That is stunning. Should we do another one? Maybe I should do this fun poppy one down here to kind of help it match and see, since it's a little bit poppier, will it be more intense? This formula is so pretty. Wow. I love it. Oh my goodness. I knew I was going to like it, but I didn't know I was going to love the formula this much because I was so nervous it was just going to be way too pigmented for my fair skin. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to try all of the other shades on my skin tone. Okay, so now let's go into this beautiful palette. I was like, okay, it's huge. You don't need it. And then the more I looked at it, I was like, but this is like color, but also some neutrals in here. We got some greens, some beautiful softer tones. So guys, I couldn't help it. I got it, and I'm so happy because in person it looks stunning. I'm sorry, there's so much pollen, and like I just can't stop coughing. So if there's lots of cuts, it's because I'm choking and I need water. Wow, the shimmers look so like extra sparkly, very shifty. I know y'all have seen all the close-ups and swatches, but I haven't seen anything. So I'm going to first dive into the neutral matte. Go figure, you already know right here. Cleanse, and I'm just, ooh, these are like a little powdery. And let me just kind of fix all the creases that we have going on. Alright, let's see how pigmented you are. This is like a pretty dusty, rosy, taupey, very soft crease shade, if that makes sense. Cool tone and pretty. I love a good taupe like this. People who love color, people who love neutrals, this is honestly like everyone's going to enjoy this shade in my opinion, because it's not just like a boring brown. That taupiness, because if you pair this with like the purples, it'll pull purple. If you pair it with the pinks, I bet you it will pull pink. I'm very inspired, as you can see, to create looks. It's been a while since I've been inspired to play with the palette, but this one has me excited to play with makeup again. I want to go in with Clove next. It looks like a brown. I want to see how it pulls on my skin tone and just kind of see once we get it blended out, what are you really? Looks like a pretty neutrally brown. Layering on this taupey shade, it's pulling kind of cool tone, but keeping its shade. Those two together are so pretty. I just wrapped it underneath my lower lash line. Now I want to go in with Blossom and Mix Flourish. So the pink and then this more softer shade. And I'm just going to see what we get. I'm trying to really bounce around the palette just to see how they layer on one another. But this seems to be like the perfect Unearthly matte formula. So good news there. But since I'm only doing one look, just kind of hanging out with y'all, I want to mix them together and see how many shades I can use, make sure the look's cohesive, and just really test the formula for y'all. If you hear my kids playing, my daughter's outside playing volleyball, so I'm not going to tell her to stop because actually it's not even that pretty of a day. It's kind of cold and gloomy. I'm going to let her play and we're going to go with the flow. I want to go in with the green and pop that on the lower lash line. You know, I had to go in with the green in this palette. I want to see the undertone because I didn't know if it was like a warmer green because those are not always my favorite. But since I have some of these cool tones, I like the way it's pulling on my skin. I'm curious if you just go into it, what shade it would be. If it'd be like more of a warmer green, like a true green. But paired with some of these cooler shades, it's really pretty. And more like a wearable versus just like green, you know? Okay, so I've used these mattes. Let me dive into a little bit of Thaw, which is a darker blue. And just kind of line my lash line, and then we'll pop into this shimmers. I don't know what to do first. Everything looks so pretty. This is a pretty multi-chrome, so I may use that, like the pinky to green, and see what that's about. I might just mix a whole bunch. I want to feel the texture. Very soft. Wow, okay, now I see obviously why this palette is like expensive, but also you have a ton of shades. Okay, very creamy formula. I'm not going to build this shade up too much because I'm going to layer on some more just to try them out. It kind of reminds me, if you're familiar with like the Sorceress palette, how luxurious and silky smooth those shimmers are. Now I want to go in with Lush. This one, it's like pink to gold. Really pretty. And maybe even green. Oh, these are... this is a nice formula. And like, we're just going to have fun, and let's see what this one does. Oh, such a pretty pinky peachy gold. I know what shade I want to use on the inner corner. I'm dying to go in with Clouds. I have these nails and like I'm not going to be able to use my hand, so I'm going to do... This one's not as creamy as the others. Holy moly, this iridescent is so shifty. I'm going to have to show y'all under like low lighting in a little bit. This one's really pretty. And the base is like translucent, so you can layer it over everything, and it's just going to really make everything a little bit more magical and shifty. Oh, that's pretty. I just have to see Grimoire. Is that, yeah. This shade looks, it's like your perfect neutral spicy shade. And look, you could pair it with these and just get like such a basic look. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Oh, this is so smooth. Oh my goodness. Y'all, if you love the Sorcerer's palette, I think you're going to be really happy with this formula. It's really soft and silky like that one. Wow. Alright guys, so this is a finished look. I layered on so many different shades, just kind of playing with it, testing the formula, but I really like this very soft and wearable look. I'm going to turn down the brightness. The way that I love this palette, guys, it took me by surprise. I didn't realize how much I was going to like it. Let me swatch some under this low light. Let's swatch some that I did not use. So this blue, this light green, this dark green, this peachy shade, and then let's do this multi-chrome that I used. So I'm going to show you the ones that I did not use. That's the blue. Let's see. That's that light green. The darker green. And this is just very, like, one soft dip. You could build these up. Very pretty. They're shifty. They're sparkly. And then here's, I could definitely tell, like, it's a multi-chrome. That purple to green, really pretty. Wow, I'm blown away. Wow, that's stunning. Purple, green. I love it. Okay, so let's first start off with the blush palette. I am so happy with this formula. I love the colors in here. It's something new to my collection, and that's often hard to come by. I'm so happy that I got it. And honestly, for the price, and you get 6 blushes, that's awesome. And let me make sure they're magnetic. I can definitely feel it. So I don't know if my tool is just not strong enough and maybe they're not coming out. I will leave in the description box if these are magnetic, but it doesn't appear that way. But like, I know they normally have magnetic palettes. I'll let you know in the description box if you're curious about that. But I love the shades that they picked in here. I think it's so pretty, and I love the formula that it's not so pigmented. You could really just like manipulate it, and I love that it's like a beautiful sheen without being sparkly. So even though the shades may, sorry if that was loud, be very intimidating, when you get them on the cheeks, you could definitely make them more wearable. Now let's talk about the eyeshadow palette. This is definitely a larger palette. I have no regrets, and honestly guys, I was going to completely skip this because I was like, I don't need it. And honestly, I'll pop up a picture because the palette grew legs and walked away and we cannot find it. But this kind of reminds me of like Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde. That's the vibes that I get with that palette. So I was like, I don't need it because I didn't reach for that one all that often. But I was like, who are you kidding? This color story, it's so beautiful. And I'm so glad that I got it because the formula in here, it's absolutely beautiful. Let's count how many mattes I use. I use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mattes. And the shimmers, I use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 5. So I used quite a few shades to create this look. Obviously, you don't have to use all those shades to get this kind of look. I just really wanted to test everything out. And I'm very happy to say that if you love Unearthly's quality, this is the same quality you're going to get with their previous palettes. I will say that this one is honestly, in my opinion, it reminds me of the Sorcerer's palette, just how silky it is. It just feels a little bit extra luxe, if you know what I mean. Let me see if this is magnetic, just to make sure. I'm sure they are. Yeah. So this, no problem. The pans came out. So I will definitely let you know about the cheek palette. But so far, so good. You're going to have to let me know, did you pick up this collection? Are you going to dupe it? Are you kind of just waiting, adding it to your wish list? Because there's been so many new makeup launches, but I am so happy. I love the look that I created, and this palette inspires me. I love that you can get a very subtle look or a very colorful look, and it's perfect. It's perfect for spring, and I love the packaging so much. But that's going to do it for today's video. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you're doing well. I hope that you are healthy, happy, and safe. Stay beautiful. Bye, guys.